Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the second entry in the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. It swaps the streets of Midgar scene in Remake for open-world exploration, while Cloud and company visit many iconic places from the original in Final Fantasy Rebirth, including Costa del Sol and the Gold Saucer. To get you up to speed with all the changes, we've detailed everything we know about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth below, which includes its release date, available platforms, length, and what we know about new playable characters, summons, and materias. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth release date. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth releases worldwide on Thursday, February 29, 2024. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth platforms. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a timed PS5 exclusive. However, as seen at the end of a Sony State of Play trailer, Rebirth is only a PS5 exclusive until May 29, 2024. This means we may see a PC or Xbox port sometime in the future, but seeing as Remake still hasn't released on Xbox, we're less confident of an Xbox version releasing. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth preload and file size details. According to PlayStation Size on X, formerly Twitter, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has a 145GB file size, and it is available to preload from midnight on Tuesday, February 27th. That's a pretty huge download size. No wonder the physical version has 2 discs. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Demo. The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo is out now and covers the first chapter of the full game with a flashback to Nibelheim. If you complete this Nibelheim episode, you will be able to skip the same section in the full game. The Junon area episode will become playable in the demo after an update on Wednesday, February 21st, and can be accessed after completing the Nibelheim chapter. As a nice bonus, you also get a free Cupo Charm survival set item for playing the Rebirth demo. Is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth a sequel? Yes, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a sequel to Final Fantasy VII Remake. Although there is a 5-minute recap video to get you caught up on the events of Remake out now, and will be available to watch from the main menu of Rebirth, I recommend that you complete Remake before starting Rebirth if you want to fully appreciate the story. How long is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? It is long. According to an interview with the developers on the official PlayStation blog Volume-wise, the amount of side content in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is nearly double that of the main quest content. Seeing as Remake's story was around 30 to 40 hours long, and its side content was about double that, we estimate that Rebirth will take at least 80 to 100 hours to complete if you take part in side activities. As Rebirth has more of an open-world setting than Remake, we wouldn't be surprised if your playtime was even more than this by the end of your playthrough. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gameplay details. The developers have described Final Fantasy VII as a multifaceted world with a high degree of freedom, aka, it's an open-world game. So expect to spend lots more time exploring the environment than you did in Remake's Midgar. To go along with this open-world setting, there are lots of ways to get around, including swimming, riding chocobos, and using buggies. There's even a Segway-looking vehicle called a wheelie to use while in sunny Costa del Sol. Different colored chocobos also have unique abilities that allow them to climb walls, fly, and sniff out hidden treasure. You will also be able to collect raw materials and use an item transmuter to craft new items, armors, and accessories with a brand new crafting system. The more you craft, the higher your craftsmanship is, which unlocks new formulae to obtain rare items. As for combat, it's a lot like Remake, and still has the active and classic battle modes, allowing you to choose between direct control of real-time action or focus on abilities through menus with auto battle. However, Synergy is a new addition. As described by Ed Nightingale in his preview, Synergy attacks sit somewhere between abilities and limit breaks. Each ability use adds 1 synergy point to a character. Once 2 characters have built enough points, typically 2 each, they can unleash a synergy attack, a flashy pairing that does decent damage. It encourages players to regularly alternate between characters, synergy attacks acting like a mini reward. There are additional synergy skills accessed by guarding that again pair up characters, but are less effective. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth playable characters. We know of 9 playable characters in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth: Cloud, Aerith, Barret, Tifa, Yuffie, Red 13, Cait Sith, Sephiroth, and Zack. If you're wondering where Sid is, according to creative director Tetsuya Nomura in a PlayStation blog interview, there are characters who are accompanying members in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that will become official party members in the next title. Expect more twists. Producer Yoshinori Kaitase has confirmed that for Part 2 and Part 3, we are able to give fans the excitement of wondering which parts will be 100% faithful to the original and where the new elements will be added. The second trailer has already revealed some big differences, but don't worry, the overall story will still link with Advent Children. You can enjoy it even if you haven't played Remake. In an X, formerly Twitter, the developers confirmed that they have made preparations so players can fully enjoy Final Fantasy VII Rebirth without playing Remake first. We suspect they meant the recent 5-minute story recap of Remake that will also be included on the main menu of Rebirth, but a separate press release also claimed that Rebirth is a standalone adventure. The physical version comes with 2 discs. Apparently, Rebirth is so large one disc can't contain it. Sephiroth is depicted in even more depth than in the original game. In another PlayStation blog post, producer Yoshinori Kaitase revealed that Sephiroth appears more often in Rebirth, as he is the driving force that pulls the story along to fill that void. This makes him an even more charismatic and appealing antagonist than before. Aerith's fate is one of the most important themes in Rebirth's story. In the same interview mentioned above, Kaitase revealed more information on everybody's favorite local florist. Aerith's fate is one of the most important themes in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth story. I really want people to play the game and feel it directly, so I will not say too much here. But when comparing this scene to how it was presented in the original, I am confident that the audience will feel a great breadth of emotion from the extra level of detail in how the characters are portrayed. The Gold Saucer returns. Everybody's favorite amusement park is finally here in Rebirth, with 3D Battler, Chocobo Racing, and G-Bike confirmed so far, but the snowboarding minigame from the original has been axed. Some of the minigames will take place during the main story in the middle of the game, while others are side content, but you're free to return to the Gold Saucer at any time. New minigames and harder difficulty modes are unlocked as the main story progresses. More minigames. Outside of the Gold Saucer, more new minigames are coming to Rebirth, including playing the piano, a new card game called Queen's Blood, and Moogle Mischief, where you have to return Moglesta back to their Mogstools. New summons, Odin, Alexander, Titan, Bahamut Arisen, Phoenix, and Kajata are confirmed so far. Some summons from Remake are also returning. As revealed in a PlayStation blog interview, there will also be new, extended side content based on a summon who did not feature in the original Final Fantasy VII and even more besides. Story comes to an end at the Forgotten Capital, but Wutai is skipped. In the same PlayStation blog interview mentioned above, it was confirmed that Wutai will be in the third game instead. New materia. Spare change lets you do more damage the more gil you throw. Comet rains down comets from the sky to damage enemies. Precision defense focus improves the timing for perfect defense, gives it more stagger damage, and helps block binding attacks. Then there's level boost, which grants a level up to the materia it's paired up with, and autocast, which automatically uses the materia it's paired with. The last new materia we know about combines 2 types of materia to let you use both without taking up 2 slots. For example, the lightning and wind materia grants you both thunder and arrow. That's everything we know about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hope you enjoy the video. Leave a comment below about which character you like the most and which other Final Fantasy you have played. See you next time.